So I just did an article in the community section of Cruising Paris called What to Pack for a Trip to Paris in November, because November is in a few days. And I think it's a very popular time where people want to come to Paris between now and January. It's a huge tourist season. And for some people, it's their first time and they're wondering, what should I pack for Paris in November? And so I thought I'd write this article about that. So I think one of the things that you should pack, if you can, because sometimes it's a little complicated with your suitcase, but if you can, you should pack a fedora because I think it looks very sophisticated and very cool on the streets of Paris in November. So that was the first thing I said. Okay, so the second thing that I said is pretty obvious is an umbrella because it rains a lot in Paris at this time of the year. I live in Paris and I have lived in Paris for a while. I don't own an umbrella, not because I don't need it, but just because I got fed up. Because, you buy an umbrella for 20 euros and it lasts you maybe one or two maximum rainfalls and then the wind breaks it and for me it's just a waste of money. So I wear hats against the rain or a scarf on my head or nothing at all, But if you're going to be on holiday, I don't think you want to be drenched. So I think you should pack an umbrella, preferably one that folds out. So another thing I think you need in Paris is a cashmere sweater. Cashmere sweaters are very classic. They're breathable, they're adaptable. So even if the weather is not so cold, you can still get away with it. And if it's a little bit, chilly, you definitely will get away with it. Um, and look chic at the same time. So many different companies, as you can see, have a version of the cashmere sweater. The prices range wildly and widely. So, take your pick, but definitely I would pack a cashmere sweater if it's already in my closet. Fine. If not, you know, try to get one because it just looks really cool in Paris. So I think you obviously should bring a striped top with you because it just looks really nice in Paris. And everybody has a striped top. You don't have to live in Paris to have a striped top. Everybody has a striped top. So pack a striped top. I think you should also pack a hoodie. I think hoodies can be really versatile, very warm, very sporty, and you can definitely pair it with, if you have a black hoodie, you can get 3, possibly even 4 days of sightseeing in that black hoodie with a t-shirt underneath and your jeans or sweatpants with your sneakers. So I think hoodies are very, very versatile and they reduce the amount of clothes you would need to bring. And all the cool kids in Paris wear hoodies anyway, including the chic girls as well. So you just can't go wrong. You should also consider like a delicate necklace, something very simple, nothing too crazy. And yeah, Shein has some really cool options just for travel. Nothing too precious, but just delicate. It looks really nice, especially when you're having dinner at night in the restaurants or whatever. They sparkle. It looks really nice. So you should, you know, have a delicate necklace. I think a nice simple watch would look really nice. 848 euros. That's a weird price. It's absolutely weird. Um, yeah, so I'm just looking down at, some of these. Nothing too precious. I mean, when you're traveling, you don't want to have anything too precious, but you want it to sort of look like it might be precious. You know what I mean? Like this one is just very, very nice, very classic, very, just really nice. This one too. And you see, it doesn't have to be like ridiculously expensive, but it just, just has to be nice. And it goes really nicely with just your sweater and your, the different touches that you bring to your holiday in the City of Lights. Okay, so you also need to have comfortable walking shoes, obviously. This, unless you plan on taking Uber everywhere, which would be ridiculous, you will need comfortable walking shoes. So get yourself a good pair of comfortable walking shoes. I mean, if you have room in your suitcase, you can't go wrong with some ballet flats. I mean, Parisian women, I mean, the cool young women today, I mean, they wear their sneakers everywhere with everything, pretty much. And so, a pair of very cool sneakers should take you almost everywhere, certainly everywhere that is casual. And so if you have sneakers, you don't necessarily need ballet flats. It depends on how much space you have in your suitcase, how much time you're going to be here, what you're going to do. But if you have the space and you will have the time, yeah, definitely pack some ballet flats. Um, yeah, you also need to pack some loafers, and you need maybe one pair of either high, stilettos or boots. So yeah, it's a lot. I mean, if it depends on how long you're coming and what you plan to do, but depending on that, you would either choose between um, boots and stilettos. Something you can wear at night, dress up a little bit, vamp a little bit, da 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 da. Okay. Obviously, no matter where you go on holiday these days, you need jeans. And the more comfortable, the better, because you're going to be presumably walking around a lot, and you don't really need to have like super tight jeans. You can save those for nights when you're going out, when you don't want to be va 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 boom. But um, as a general rule, you just really need um, one or two pairs, depending on how much time you're here, one or two pairs of comfortable jeans, right? Um, Companies like Levi's makes really comfortable jeans for women, and you know, I'm sure that you already have your favorite jeans, so you don't sort of um, you know, need to go out and buy new jeans. You just pack something that you have. I mean, depending on how much time, you would probably need to pack 2 to 4 pairs of pants, and two of those should be half of your lower attire should be jeans, I think. Another thing that when you're in Paris is you probably would need a black dress, some version of the little black dress. And that is also going to depend on what you're doing and why you're in Paris and where you're going and who are you going with. There's so many different black dresses to choose from, and if you're traveling, you obviously want to choose one that doesn't take up too much space in your suitcase as well. But, um, you know, yeah, many different versions to choose from. I mean, even if it's November, a tailored shirt always looks nice because you put this under your cashmere sweater. You could also put it under a tweed jacket or just, alone with your coat and look instantly chic, with your jeans, your ballet flats, or with your sneakers, and or even at night you could dress it up with your delicate jewelry and with a high heel boot or something like that. So the tailored shirt is definitely a classic for Paris in September, so long as you're layering it with other things like the cashmere sweater. So in November, it's also cool in Paris to be wearing a tweed jacket, with your jeans, um, or whatever else you bring, whether it's a skirt or just a regular black pants, tweed jackets, with the fedora hat, the classic watch, the fine jewelry can be very, very chic. And yeah, I recommend it. So the next thing I think you should have is a nice plain silk scarf. Well, I wouldn't say plain, just, nothing too just out there, just something very classic. It doesn't have to be ornate, but it has to look like it's nice and possibly iron it and make it look nice. Okay. One thing is for sure, there you can buy something on the streets of Paris, especially in places like Châtelet, if you don't already own a silk scarf, which I find hard to believe there's anybody who doesn't own at least one. All right, you need a nice trench coat, and that's self-explanatory. And you need a nice belt, and you need a nice t-shirt. I mean, you have a lot to choose from because, you know, everybody has a version of the trench coat at this point. So, yeah, you can do it. A nice simple belt is also a good idea to pack in November, right? Um, it just makes you look more sort of pulled together, I think.